the state of our nation is our next focus. Now, while I have with me in the studio, Comrade Idris Zakari, the Chairman Media Committee for the Labour Party in Edo State ahead of the election. Good morning and glad to have you.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Daniel. It's always an absolute delight to come share some of my thoughts here with you on this program. Thank you for the opportunity. Good morning, Edo people.
And thank you for coming. And sitting very close to him is a dogged politician. He's of the APC and he's the assistant DG Media, still ahead of the Edo election. He's in person of Comrade Amadi Collins. Thank you for coming, Comrade Collins.
DPO, good morning. Thank you. Our viewers at home, good morning to all of you.
And of course, calmly sitting close to Comrade Collins is no other person than Emmanuel Obakolo Esquire. He's an activist and a legal practitioner. It's a delight to have you, Barrister Emmanuel.
Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, DPO.
Okay, let's start with you. Looking at these personalities involved, Peter Obi, he's gone to court too, challenging one of the spokesperson of the presidency, Bayo Naluga. And of course, Pato Tomi too has gone to court. Give us the legal side of view. Does it have any effect on their personalities? To start with.
Yes, their character have been defamed with the way Bayo Naluga presented the matter. I haven't listened to him. One would conclude or come to the conclusion that indeed it was born out of malice, so to speak. Because the germane question is, do Nigerians have right to protest when they feel that things are not moving well for the nation? The answer is yes. It's constitutional. The Constitution allows for it. And also, the Police Act, the Section 83, subsection 4 of the Police Act 2020 provides laws that where there is a meeting or rally, that the police shall, the word shall is used in that law, make provision for what? Security. So Nigerians have the right to protest, because if you look at what is going on today, what we were promised in 2014 before the 2015 general elections, the previous administration and the extant administration have done worse than what we saw in 2014. And yet you come to a situation where somebody is unsettled because there is a planned protest. Nigerians want to express themselves that, look, we do not like the way things are going. We want the government, after all, the primary function of the government is security and welfare. So the question now is are Nigeria secured, and do we have a fair welfare in Nigeria?
Okay, we'll be getting back to you to get more insight, especially the legal part of you. Let's come to you, Comrade Collins Amadi. You are of the APC as a grassroots politician. Some persons of your party, from your party, they are saying this is a political move. They are just trying to tarnish the image of this government. We are just 1 year in office. Give the president time. He's working. But Nigerians are saying time is not on our side. 1 year in office is enough to tackle whatever issue you made on ground. But they are saying, no, this is an administration that is different from the previous one. However, this current administration have alleged that they actually carried over some unnecessary backlash or heavy load from the previous one. How do we separate it?
Thank you. Either way it goes. Side A is correct. Side B also correct. When things are not working, someone needs to speak. But when someone wants to speak, or when a team chooses to engage his or herself, there must be leadership. You can't incite through your either Instagram, your Twitter, just like I'm surprised you didn't even mention the former vice president, Alhaji, the Dubai chairman.
No, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Yes, former president of the country
lives in Dubai,
and presidential candidate of the PDP.
Yes, who have also openly said he's part of the people sponsoring from Dubai. Now, there must be leadership to everything. There must be accountability. We have had series of protests over the time. We have also had some that were being led by people and managed by people. People had said, oh, during Jonathan, for example, were there no protests? Yes, there were protests. But people came out and said, for AYZ, we were part of this protest. They led it. It was peaceful. There was no destruction. We have also had some that were being motivated by failed politicians who were given opportunity to administer before. Quote and unquote, will not come out to openly say they are leading them. Because the reason why some persons need to be identified, either by way of their statement, to be sure that you are leading them in case things go wrong. Now you can't incite people and say you are not part of it. Now, what am I not trying to say? It's an open thing. If I want to join the protest, for example, I should openly say I'm going to be part of it. And then I will do all I can to make sure national assets are not being destroyed. Now, for example, people ask people to go out for answers. In answers, I was a victim. My car was destroyed. The feature the first day it started. Within a case one, what have you, I drove in and met the whole scene, and they told me I must pay money to pass. Those are people who are saying they were calling for justice, that the police were undermining people. Now they undermined me, destroyed part of my car, and I had to pay money to cross the road. Now what are you not saying? What am I not trying to say? Some persons invaded even the Central Bank of Nigeria at Akpava, wanting to enter. Is that a peaceful protest? That is not a protest. That is a takeover attempt, a coup be planned by some people to be managed, and at such a point you must quickly, as a government, that listen, I am happy with this president. Now we have
are happy with the
yes
president?
I am happy because
as an individual.
I am happy with the president based on my own evolution and my statistics. Now why did I say I'm happy? Over the time we have had leaders who do not listen, and we have also had leaders who listen. Now he listens. Now he said, what are the issues? Yes, I know part of the issues. If there are some that I don't know, come on, let's continue to discuss. Now, somebody within 1 year initiated something like student loan. Yes, palliative alleged. It's from the palliative that some of these things can be touched, and brought a scheme of student loan, which some regions are quickly announcing and taking advantage of. Now, yes, palliative were taken. He brought measures to help cushion the effect through governance. Our problem is that we don't ask questions of those who are close to us that are administering. Instead, they will be pushing us to the center. Now, you tell me, he brought palliative, wonderful and fine. Now, do you know, in almost all the federal roads in this country, at the same time this man is working, I always have my references. The road leading to my house in Sapele Road. In my life since I was born, I have also been privileged to travel within and outside. I have not seen where the kind of element melts ions or rods that are being used. If you go before Obi and after, the kind of drainages that is ongoing, underground standard.
Are they states? They are federal projects.
Of course they are. Now I am telling you, these are just what can give us a good road from Benin up to Bayelsa. 3 different contractors are working because one, there was a governor who had cried out at a time and said they were printing money to share in Abuja every month. And even when they were printing, he could not collect the printing one to quickly help build a sustainable something in his state. But today you want to sack people to go and push at the other. Now let me tell you. See,
so you have so many things to tell us this morning, our Comrade Collins. We'll get back to you.
Thank you.
We'll get back to you in a moment. Give us an overview, Comrade Idris Zachary, looking at the whole planned protest. What are your views?
It is the constitutional right of every citizen to protest. In Esako, we have a parable. I'll say it in English for ease of understanding. You cannot ask a child you have flogged not to cry. You have the right to discipline a child. The child has a right to express their pain, whichever way they choose to do it. The issues are fundamental. Today, the median income in every home has dropped significantly. So much so that the salary of a level 9 civil servant cannot buy 1.5 bags of rice. So that is excluding tomatoes, excluding toothpaste, excluding recharge card. So for you to even work in any civil setting now, or to work in any establishment, you must be inherently corrupt to survive. So that is one. Secondly, our Naira has lost so much value. The Naira has skyrocketed. Today, Naira exchanges for between 1,006 to 1,007. And if you do any kind of business that requires you to bring things in from outside this country, you are in serious trouble. Today, our schools, for the most part, are closed. University of Benin, where I went to school, has not had electricity for months. I was in a place, I was in Orion local government, and for in Orion, they've not seen electricity for 10 years. I was in Sobe. Sobe has not seen electricity for 5 years. So I'm talking nationally and locally. There is no way that we can afford to run a country like this. I am not situating the blame squarely on the feet of the president. Okay. And the president cannot pretend not to understand the challenges of Nigeria. The APC has been in government for 9 years. 8 years of President Muhammadu Buhari, 1 year of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There is no clear-cut direction as to where we are going just now. There is no definition of what we hope to achieve and what needs to be done to rescue our country. We are not saying solve all the problems. We are saying, where are we going to? Things cannot be worse. Yesterday cannot always be worse than today. We want to see a situation where yesterday cannot always be better than today. We want to see a situation where there is incremental progress. How can in our individual lives we are pursuing incremental progress? In our nation we are retrogressing more or less. Look at the Dangote refinery. I had once sat here and boasted that once the Dangote refinery come on stream, most of our energy problems will be, for the most part, solved. Today, an agency of government is at loggerheads with a man who invested $20 billion of his resources. So we are buying fuel at around 700 naira. If you buy fuel at 700 naira as a baba, how per liter, what will you use it to do to be able to maintain your shop, maintain your equipment, and feed your family? Okay. So the issues are fundamental, and the right of every citizen to protest is constitutionally guaranteed. The job of the police is to provide security for protesters, not to stop protesters. The job of government is to continue to dialogue with protesters, not to issue threats. In Lagos, for example, that the traditional people there have said they want to do Oro. They do not have the power. They do not have the power to stop a protest with a traditional with a traditional program, whatever it is. They cannot tell people what to do. We are in a democratic country. Nobody can tell any other person where your rights stop is where my own begin. Agreed that I have my own reservation. I was part of the NSAS protest. Okay. I have my own reservation as to the security, security generally, and then this protest being hijacked. That is where the police comes in. Okay. The job of the police is to provide protection. Okay. To ensure that hoodlums do not hijack the protest. Anything outside this is unconstitutional. It's illegal in the first place, and it is a stamp. It is an affront on the right of citizens.
Okay, we'll be getting back to you. We have a legal practitioner in the house, and he will be helping us make sense as far as the legal context is concerned. Now, the person of Peter Obi and all that were actually fingered in it. Well, some other persons are saying his tweets or some of his messages on social media is kind of directing these protesters to actually have the infantry to go on with their protests, or however they put it. But do you think it's out of place or it's out of context as a lawyer to indict a man who is just doing his tweets from the comfort of his home, speaking against a government that is not working from his side of view?
The first question is Peter Obi in Nigeria?
Okay, that's one.
2, does Peter Obi want this country to grow?
That's 2.
3, does he have right to protest?
That's 3. So these are 3 questions. Help us, give us the answers.
When a man sits in the confines of power and begin to define what is and what is not, that man is no less a tyrant. We've heard these same persons who are in power today, who are enjoying the dividends of power. Once upon a time, we were not in power. In 2014, they went on the streets, they gathered crowd, and they protested against a government. To the extent that they produced a mock coffin of the president.
Former president.
A mock coffin of the former president. What could be so inciting than that? And today, you see them telling us, look, the XYZ is the one inciting people. When you speak the truth, somebody will define it to be hate speech. When you want to say something, that look, for goodness sake, for the interests of the majority of Nigerians, how many Nigerians today can afford 3 square meals? I How many Nigerians today can get sick, can say that they are secured? Why is the price of food going higher? Nobody is asking that question. Farmers cannot even access their farms. Nobody is asking that question. Recently, we saw another massacre in Edo State. Nobody is asking a question. And we have a commander-in-chief. Even with the situation in Nigeria today, for over 1 year now, how many times has the president taken time to address Nigerians on issues like this? How many times? When we see his aides, we see, before now we used to know of what is called presidential shout. Yes, the president speak. We saw it with President Obasanjo. We saw it with even President Goodluck Jonathan. During that protest, he addressed the nation as our president now addressed the nation on this matter. Instead, you begin to see these aides begin to throw words of threat. Even a cultural group is now saying that because there is a planned strike between 1st of August and 15th of August 2024, is now saying that nobody should come out. The same persons during the elections came out to say nobody should come out to come and vote. The governorship election, they came out, they said nobody, non-indigens should not come out, save indigens. You disenfranchise the people. Nobody said anything about that, wrong about that. Okay. And today, here we are in a country. For goodness, are we in one Nigeria? Are Nigerians the citizens of this country? Or we should go somewhere else and stay and allow them to occupy every part of Nigeria? Okay. So, legally speaking, Nigerians have the right to protest.
Whoever they are.
Better
wherever
advice.
They are tweeting from.
Better advice. It must be a peaceful protest. And again, I want to say, most times, even those in government will now raise a counter group. Who are the ones destroying government facilities?
Okay, we will get to that aspect, Emmanuel Obakwole. I will get to that aspect. Now, Comrade Collins, you actually said that this president, listen, he has been meeting with people and ensuring that he tackled some of the pressing issues. But Senator Ali Ndume came out to say that the president is not giving access. They don't have access to this administration. That is serving a high-ranking senator. And some persons actually said, you speak against the government, they fight you. And of course, we saw how Ali Ndume was removed as the chief whip. And he actually said, because he was speaking against the government, that when you get to the presidency, some persons said, when you get to the presidency, you only meet the spokesperson. You don't have access to the president. Some have actually even said he's not even ready to listen to anyone. But you said you like this government. The government has favored you. You will help us make sense. Now, quickly, let me just land. You will help us make sense. Nigerians are watching all over the globe. And we would like to hear from you. We are from APC.
Now, quickly, let me talk on Ali Ndume. He has not rested, not even for 1 day, since we revigorated democracy. He has not rested. Meaning, he has been saying president, he was governor for 8 years, and what have you, he has been there. So all those relationships he has had with entering the villa.
He's been in the Senate for a while. The governor. Yeah. Okay, go on. I was trying to correct something.
Having been in government, those his visits, what has it changed? He was even since indicted on the security issues that engulfed probably the Northeast, that he was one of those who groomed those things. But however, his own is on one side. Now, the real issue. We need to overhaul the system. How do we start? Government of the people, by the people, for the people. And where does it start? From the grassroots. Now, even while other presidents were playing jingles with local administration on how the people can get effective governance. But this one chooses to say, we don't need to go back to parliament, and parliament will set up committee, ad hoc committee, non-ad hoc committee, go to state, discuss with governor. He went straight, hit the nail in the head, and went to court and said, this thing is already in the constitution. Help us review so that our people can get the needed benefit by way of direct administration. Today, we are happy. That section has been given a pass mark. The real dividends, probably when the payment begin, we will not then have people to hold accountable from your grassroots, that is where good governance been given from, a 1 pass mark. Initiated student loan. How can we help the vulnerable? To those who will not have pride. You know, there are some that can say, no, government, we have gotten enough money to, but there are some who need it. Now, what do? Within 1 year, that has also gotten his needed acceleration. Minimum wage, for example, yes, before now, labor and what have you have continually cried. It's not just an immediate thing. He have had discussions continually been with them for a while. What do? Let's be fair enough. Even when governors are saying they cannot pay, he himself understood that though we have a world economic problem, first, ECOWAS does not even have interrelations anymore as it concerns economy activities, where state, where this country can, where we can give Niger can give us what have you across board, or Benin can do, we can do. Now all those things are already lopsided. Nigeria is highly populated, and you know, to even feed us is not a joke. Now the man has removed excess tax from foods. We are see, it is a consolidating government, where the center and the districts and local must put hands together to help the people. Now, if federal governments have removed burden of tax from food importation or what have you, or food commodities, what are the state government doing at their own level? Then what are the local government doing? I am coming and still counting his achievement. Now, for example, he has been able to set all this aside just to make it life better. In palliative, direct palliative, he has sent through governors, and nobody have asked these governors, how are you managing these resources or these direct palliative? Some people kept theirs in warehouses. But what am I not trying to say? It's good to protest, as we all agreed. I'm a product of protest. But my barrister here talked about protest that was led by people like them during Jonathan.
Yes.
And now you now ask me, was it a violent protest? People came out and took responsibility, and they were able to manage people and make sure it did not involve violence. But the other ones where you are not seeing leader, okay, let us say we are the one leader.
Somebody died.
So if anything goes wrong, we all you. It's simple as that.
That protest took the life of a young man.
It took the life of a young man. Answers, how many, what was the person that was destroyed? So what I'm trying to say in nutshell is that may God give him the strength to do more. Because one, if I want to continually to count, though I'm not the direct spokesperson of Mr. President, but if I want to begin to count
his achievements,
is enormous already, that we are praying that even the problem now, if infrastructures were built before now across the country, today we will not be burdening ourselves about talking about roads, access road to bring family products out.
We are glad we have someone like you in this discussion. So you'll be giving us the achievements bit by bit. So let's help you. Take your breath, just relax. We'll get back to you in a moment. Comrade Zachary, what might be the political motivation behind the linkage of Peter Obi to this whole protest? Is there any political motivation?
It's, I think some of the people who speak for the APC, in particular Bayo Nonuga, are using the principle of scapegoatism. They always want to scapegoat people for their own failures. The bitter truth is that all three of us sitting here, we agree that the economy is not smiling at anyone.
No, it's smiling at
I don't think we have.
He said he's smiling at
this is the bitter truth.
He's enjoying it.
The economy is
no, you don't have to misunderstand whatever I said. So you must check the analysis.
Please.
I know. I'm telling you, you don't need to
Comrade, please, we will get back to you.
And you will react what I said. That's what you said.
You have your time, please.
I said it's a global problem.
The economy is not smiling at anyone. And for the most part, the blame rests on the shoulders of the federal government and the state government. Of course, the state government have since usurped the local government. So I am glad. Well, it's not. I'm not glad because they are yet to realize government cannot enjoy on behalf of the people and expect the people not to react. This government bought a yacht. This government just bought a new presidential jet. You are enjoying on behalf of the people. This government just built a brand new vice presidential villa. A whole new 28 billion they spent building a presidential villa. That's more than the budget of the entire university.
For the vice president.
For the vice president, yes. That's more than the budget, the federal budget for universities in Nigeria. You know, so we play too much to think that you can enjoy on behalf of the people. Let's elevate this discussion a little bit. The right to protest is a constitutionally guaranteed right. If Peter Obi chooses to protest, so be it. He has said that he is not part of the protest and has since slammed Bayo Onanuga with a 50 billion naira lawsuit. He thinks it's a joke. In the fullness of time, you know that government will come and go. Some of the cases that will hang in your neck of government will last a lifetime. Let people be measured in the way they address issue. I follow Peter Obi on Twitter. Everything he has spoken about, tweeted about, is problem and solution. If you are honest at all, you will know that whenever he points out a problem, he suggests a solution, and that is the job of opposition. The job of opposition is to identify alternate solutions. If the solutions of the government is working, people will not be planning to protest. People planning to protest is an indication that the solution proposed by government is not working. Look at it. He mentioned student loan, 90-something billion. You know the number of students we have in Nigeria. Uniben alone has over 70,000 students. So the 90-something billion, if you share it, you can it pay the school fees, divide the number of the amount paid as school fees in the University of Benin alone. By the 96 billion, you see that it's a drop in the ocean. What is worth doing at all is worth doing well. The president has gone now to grant import license for food. How can a right-thinking government do that? Whereas we have land wasting away, nobody is cultivating it, both the federal and the state government. This government is spending 1.2 trillion building a road from Lagos to Calabar, coastal road. Beautiful, fantastic project. But the question is, the roads that you have, the previous road you have, are they motorable? Can you still drive from Auchi? The Benin Auchi road is still a tiny road, a death trap, a kidnapper's den. I've gone through it recently in the course of these campaigns. So our people, what's the electricity situation? Is it better today? Is it better today? So we joke too much. I am sure that in this studio, we can pretend all we want. We are using a generator to run it. I just stopped in your car, but the generator is working. Guess what? Do you know how much for diesel? Now, when I was in the trucking business, diesel was around 300, 400, just here, 2020 here. Today, diesel is over 1,000.
Between 2020
and 4 years. Okay. Are we joking? Within the same government?
Okay.
And I am not even, as a person, other Nigerians may be asking for too much, but I am not asking for too much. I am saying you asked for this job. You got this job. What is the direction of your government? There is no clear-cut direction. It's a rudderless administration. It's like a headless chicken.
Okay.
and then to put things in further perspective, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, not president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu,
as a person now,
as a person, was a frontline protester in Nigeria. Was an anti-government establishment. He funded, publicly acknowledged. I'm not alleging. He funded, he led anti-government agitations in this country.
Senator Shehu Sani told him,
yes,
he's the father of protest.
He's the father of protest. He's not father of protest in Nigeria. Yeah. So you must have the nerve to be able to accommodate what you have dished out to others.
Okay.
But again, I will continue to appeal to the young people. This is a Gen Z protest. So we are part Gen Z here. These people that want to protest, they don't listen to what they don't even watch TV. They are on the social media and the way the thing does them in their skin.
Okay.
Once they are unhappy with the government, whatever you say, it will enter from here, it will come out from here. I will continue to appeal to our younger ones, the Gen Z generation. Please, let us make it as peaceful as possible. We cannot afford, if we destroy our country, we will be playing into the hands of our bad leaders. Because again, they are going to repurpose, they're going to rebudget and pad the budget to even fix. So a small, if you break broom now, they will say the broom is 1 billion. So you probably have to be very careful because it's still your money they will steal to fix it.
Okay, we'll return back to you in a moment. Comrade Collins, you hold on a little because we are going to Barrister Emmanuel. You actually, you were trying to take us through the route of the hijacking the aspect of the project, the protest, I mean. Well, you can't take that away to an extent. Some persons are even saying, just recently in Kenya, we had a serious one. The country is here to recover from that and other places. And they are appealing with the EndSARS protest and the resultant effect on our economy and our nation as a whole. They are saying there is no need for the protest. Do you think that appeal should fall on deaf ears?
Yes, there is need for this protest. But my admonition is it should be a peaceful one. And that those in government should not raise a counter group with a mission to go and destroy. They hang it on those who came out peacefully just to express themselves. For goodness sake, the situation we find ourselves today in Nigeria demands an open expression. We saw that in 2014. We've seen that in even military era. We saw protests. But the way today, you see those in government, particularly the aides to the president, you see the way they talk vulgarly. You see the way they talk with so much threats, telling Nigerians that you cannot.
You're not being fair to
I so much appreciate the Inspector General of Police, who came out to say, yes, they have the right to protest, but don't go on a violent protest. But the politicians who are beneficiaries of this administration, they don't speak in that manner. They make it look like it's a war. They begin to indict every person. Was that how in 2014 those who were in government then indicted those who protested? That is the question.
In 2012, 2011, 2015.
Yes, was that how they indicted them? The answer is a no.
So are they just magnifying an issue that is not existing?
That is the position.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that is the position. Because the truth is this: if now what they try to do is to know the leaders of the protesters. They want to know them. But I cannot come and say I want to be the leader of a group. I cannot come and say that, particularly in the air like this. I cannot say that. But by the time the protest is on, we can identify those who are actually the leaders of the group. We saw EndSARS. Some persons were arrested, even when they were no leaders. Till today, nobody can tell you the arithmetic figure of those who were killed. We saw denial and counter denial.
Okay.
So we don't want a situation where it will metamorphose into a violent one. We don't want it.
Okay.
But we are saying that Nigerians should be allowed to express themselves. And I tell you,
yes, quickly,
if this administration can do the magic between now and when it will happen, nobody will even come out to protest.
Right. You actually say this government has been fair to Nigerians. And though you said you are not the spokesperson, but you've helped us to make sense of what the government have done. But let's quickly look at it very well. APC accusing APC for the failure of APC. What do we mean by that? This government took over from the same party man who actually handed over the baton of leadership to the current president of the nation. Bag of rice, as it was in 2014, it's not the same price again now. We can all attest to that. As a growing up lad in primary school, heading to secondary school, we had people protest against a sitting governor of Kaduna State, a military governor, Colonel Ali. He was protested against, and military didn't come against anyone. Though to an extent, there is no protest that doesn't have hijackers. Now, are you not saying Nigerians are not fair to Tinubu by protesting against the hardship, the glaring hardship that everyone is facing?
Now, let's be factual. It's not by when you say Tinubu, it becomes ill to me.
Is he not the president?
I'm coming.
Is he not the president?
You have asked a question. Are you not leaving?
All right, go ahead, go ahead.
The government is not being run by a single individual. First, you have parliamentarians. In another word, you have the judiciary, who on their own should help analyze as speedy as possible. Now, for example, we want a good governance, a running system, where you have a judiciary kept a 14-member from the very first day they were sworn in till after 4 years, till now, their file is under a desk. I'm coming. Was it done by a president? No. Government encompasses. Every hands must be on deck to have a running and a working system. Now, when a system chooses to collapse, now, for example, you say APC against APC. I have not seen this federal government really lamenting about previous government. Otherwise, let me tell you, if they had want to start by way of vendetta, there are lots of, Jonathan's administration was the most freest administration, and Buhari administration, the most freest administration, in which their aides looted with all convenience. Now, what am I not trying to say? Even at just now, you can see the way they are trying to touch issues at the area of corruption.
Comrade Amadi, just hold on. you talked about Jonathan's administration and that of Muhammadu Buhari, that their aides looted. But just less than 1 year, or within 1 year in office, we've seen ministers being fingered. Better Edo, for instance, just less than 1 year in office, and so many others. Let's put them in more perspective.
When you drop a question, to allow me get to a certain point.
No, some of your responses.
I was analyzing things,
Okay,
and I told you, and what I was telling you, that have you seen an act of being eventising? Did you see him being showing hitting on those people at all costs? But instead, he's taking a touch look seriously even to those around him.
Okay.
And that is why you are saying, even as he's working, areas are being checked to make sure they are not eased. This is what government is all about. Solution, not lamentation.
Okay, in a few minutes time we are going to Abuja, so I would like us to manage the remaining time.
He is part of lamentation. Let's know when to hold our immediate officers responsible. Okay. If a governor is not working, a local government is not working, don't we also have right to ask questions and fundamental questions?
Okay, yes, let's pause you, please.
I am coming.
Please, we have to pause you, please. All right, let's come to Comrade Idris. Will this have any impact, looking at the fact that Peter Obi was the flag bearer for the Labour Party? Will it affect the candidacy of Olumide Akpata as far as the election is concerned?
The Nigerians must remember that we have had democracy for 25 years. Edo State, for example, we have had 12 years of APC, 12 years of PDP. Same as the federal government for the most part. Okay, 9 years of APC, 16 years of PDP in the federal, so 18 years of PDP. How market? That's the question I can ask our people. How market?
What are they selling?
What is the quality? What is the quality of life today in comparison to 1999 when we entered this democracy? For us in Labour Party, for example, we are focused on putting people back in the center of governance, both whether it be at the federal or be at the state. And we are preaching this message without let or hindrance. And we are telling Edo people and Nigerians, whoever wants to listen, that it is time for us to change these two behemoths that have led us down this slippery slope.
Okay.
So that is my message to Edo people. I do not believe that whatever is going on now will affect what is going on in Edo State. In fact, it will reinforce it in any case.
Okay, let's quickly get to Barrister Obakwalo. Quickly help us. Will this, in a way, boost voter apathy? Will people want to sell their votes just to get hunger out of the way? Because people are hungry.
People are already selling their votes. But no matter the money you sell your votes, the question is, will that money take you for the next 4 years? So I think we need a revolution of the mind, wherein we begin to do things right.
Okay.
Somebody said, get it right, act right. So my advice to Edo people and to Nigerians is get it right, act right.
Okay, let's come to Comrade Amadi. You have time to respond quickly now. If APC at the central is still having all these shenanigans around the government, will it have any impact on the candidacy of Monday Okpebholo, who is the flag bearer for APC? And secondly, quickly, some persons are saying he has not come out to address the people. They've not heard from him. But he has been speaking in prosy. People have been speaking on his behalf. Why some people are making case for him that he's a very calm and easygoing person. Some are saying he doesn't really... No, let's calm down so that we can be on the same page.
You asked me too many long questions. So for me to touch it become problem.
Okay.
So it's like setting me up.
Okay. It's not a setup.
Okay.
It's not a setup.
You just give it to me, then I'll touch it.
Okay. How will this protest, let's link it to a Edo election, will it affect the candidacy of Monday Okpebholo? That's one. Answer that one.
For working minds in Nigerians is an added advantage. Because one, the overhauling of institutions and already mechanism on ground. For those who, it is not to just jump on social media and come out. For those who take their time, listen to news, follow up things the way they are going, the way systems are being rebuilt. It doesn't take just 1 month to build a home that has been bastardized for over 100 years. But that aside, when blackmailers begin to say, for example, our candidate do not talk to people, how then do people talk to people when this man has been, in short, the first and frontliner in reaching out,
Okay.
meeting different organizations, different people. I think that's just a fallacy of their minds. But the man is reaching out, and the tempo is growing by the day, and that is why you see the aggression in the present situation in the state government,
right,
by saying they want to burn the whole state down because they know that they've lost.
Okay, can I now ask the second question?
Sure.
All right, now he has not been speaking. We cannot just hold on to any of his statements to an extent.
In the media, especially.
In the media, especially. Nigerians, Edo-lites are saying this is not a federal election, except if the PDP, if the APC want to capitalize on federal might, because to an extent, some stakeholders are saying the APC, they want to capitalize for the strength that we get from the central level. Is that true?
I disagree with you, because that is the handiwork of distractors who just want to fabricate things where they are not. Now, if this man had met with religious leader for the third time to pacify them and tell them what he needs to do as a fast reacher leaders who can also best reach their leaders, and he has made different youth groups, have met market women, have visited 18 local government, meet with the party leaders, meet with party members, and still doing it. That means there is something else they want. They want him to turn 29 hours instead of 24 hours in a day to 29 hours. They want him to turn 9 days in a week to 7 days in a week. Okay. Because when you talk too much and you become unguided, and then you begin to misfire, because our candidate is coherent, organized, principled, and not just a talker, but a talk and walk. So he believes that it's not by spreading false rumor, as it were. This is a man that have said, I'm sure I did not generate it when he brought his SMO simple plan, where he has said it even in public, even to media. And sometimes I do not understand where they go if they cannot find one and hear what he has said over the time, within the time of his primary till just now. And if they will see, he has said Edo does not forbid to have a working environment. Edo does not forbid flyovers and standard bridges. Edo does not forbid a modern face. Edo does not forbid scholarships. All these things, he didn't call me as calling.
All this information, and then the media said by him.
He said it to the general public and to Edo people during campaigns.
He had media briefings and all that.
It's because sometimes that's why I've asked. If they have said this is how they want him, that means you should join our party and give us.
Well, I'm not. So I'm apolitical.
No, so that not you. Except for those who feels he has not talked enough. They should join the party.
I will come back to you. I will come back on a national television where the senator representing Edo North talking about the former governor now, the right honorable comrade Adams Oshomole. He granted an interview recently, and the host told him, "We've not heard from your governorship candidate. Bring him here." That's very huge for a governorship candidate. But we'll get back to you. You respond to this. Let's get to you, Emmanuel Obakwolo.
It's Zachary.
It's Zachary now.
Yes, it's my turn.
Okay. You know, one thing with Collins will just take you off balance. You need to be firm enough to have control over your own interview. Collins, maybe one of these days we'll just employ you. In
short, I would be delighted.
One of these days.
It's an honor to work for these millennials.
After the whole campaign stuff, we would like to have that. I would like to be your colleague.
I will oblige.
Probably you go with Emmanuel Obakwolo and start practicing law.
No, we will not.
Now, Idris Zakari, the NWC Barrister Abure had, INEC said that they're not recognizing it. A lot of issues are really happening in the Labour Party. What is the role of Abure? What is his stand with Olumide Agbata? We've not seen him in the public anywhere to an extent. We've not seen him with the flag bearer of the party. Is this not a concern for the party?
Well, you must recognize that I am not the spokesman of Labour Party. I am the chairman media committee, Labour Party Governorship Campaign Council. The party has its own spokespeople.
Okay.
So I may not be completely competent to speak on this matter. However, I'll tell you a few things I know, and then I'll let you make up your own mind.
Okay. You will let Nigerians make up their minds.
Okay. Through you anyway, you are the anchor. There are a number of issues concerning the leadership of Abure. There are forces within the party who fundamentally disagree with his continued stay in office. And the statement by INEC that they did not monitor the Congress held in Anambra by himself,
the change of venue and all
his
that,
friends, is categorical in that sense that he may no longer have the legitimacy to be in office. Some of these cases are in court, and like the lawyers will say, we are not supposed to speak on issues that are before the court. So I am not talking on the material particulars of the matter. I'm just talking on the general knowledge of the matter. So for us in Edo State, for example, we are not overly, especially in the campaign council, we are not overly concerned about Mr. Abure's and some of the shenanigans going on in the national office of the Labour Party. We are focused on putting Edo people back in the center of governance, and we are preaching this message. We've gone around the 18 local governments, we've gone around the 192 ward, and we have started again. We are now doing round 2. No other party even comes close among the other 2 political parties. But as a conclusive statement, not seeing the chairman, the chairman as it were, of the party with
the flag bearer.
Yeah, we have a national leader of the party, Peter Gregory Obi. He has been in Edo State to campaign with us and our candidate. Mr. Abure probably is very busy. He has things doing in Abuja that has taken more of his attention. Of course, there are a lot because with the drama going on in the national convention, it's a pointer to the fact that maybe a lot more things are keeping him busy.
Okay,
but this is speaking to Labour Party members now. We cannot continue to have people push an agenda in a party when we now have a candidate. So pushing a certain agenda, whatever that agenda might be, becomes unnecessary once we have a candidate. We have a candidate, and in the campaign council, we are focused on delivering that candidate.
Emmanuel
and delivering
Obakolo,
the goods for Edo people.
You are a legal practitioner. Help us now. Some of these cases are already in court. The embattled national chairman of the Labour Party, what might be his fate? Is there any tendency that he might be losing out in the office if some of these legal actions are against him?
Well, it is unfortunate that this is the only part of the world where when you see the handwriting on the wall, one's supposed to interpret it and probably honorably tender a resignation letter and leave that office. But here, we forbid to resign. And with the matters in court, it depends on the facts and figures before the court. The court will do the evaluation and come to a decisive decision. And at that time, whether some will choose to go upstairs is best known to them. But since the matter is in court already, let's see how the battle goes. But to look at us as sane being, if I have enjoyed an office for some time, and I discover that some persons are now fighting to ensure that I do not continue, I think the best thing to do is to honorably resign. And perhaps the future holds something, because the future is pregnant and we do not know what the future will give birth to. But like I did say, in this part of the world, it is forbidden to resign. So let him keep going forward and backward with the battles that he is facing, because he himself is claiming that he has a particular tenure to complete, and they should allow him to complete the tenure. But what about your self-esteem? What about your honor? What about your integrity? I think that is what we do not look at in this part of the world. Okay. And if I'm to advise him as one of his lawyers, I will advise him to tender his resignation.
Okay, let's get now to you now, Comrade Amadi. Just recently, the APC had its national convention, and we saw influx of some big wigs from the other side. The reinstated deputy governor was part of those who actually embraced the broom symbol as a member of the party now, and of course some other persons that had their differences during the governorship election in PDP, the primaries anyway, they actually joined force with the APC. Will it have any impact for the APC as far as the election is concerned? What some persons are saying, Right Honorable Philip Shuaibu, it doesn't really have anything to contribute to the PDP, so going to APC is like a lose for them. They don't even really need him. He cannot stand with Adams Oshomole when it comes to election in Edo North, so they don't need people like him. Will the reinstated deputy governor have any positive impact for your party?
I believe as a person, And I know that's what democracy stands for. Everyone has his value, no matter how you see it. How would you say someone who were a former House of Assembly member for 8 years precisely, a majority leader, at the time a deputy governor, and by the grace of God was reinstated by the court, and now a present deputy governor. And you are telling me he doesn't have a
there's a stay of execution.
As if he endorsed.
Okay, go on.
You made an application does not make it stand. Okay. Now, as it stands today, he is the deputy governor that we have. But when he was assisting them to prepare them, they said he was the highest giant. And in that election, those one he was outside our boss. You will agree with me. It was not also as easy in Edo North for us. He took some members, even though he didn't win all of them. So you will not go by each of the local government and see the differences that were in that election. So that means he took from us. So him adding them to is a plus. So we wholeheartedly welcome him. We believe it's a democracy and nobody takes supreme in a party system. As so long the constitution still allows you to do just that, especially when there are fraction in the party where you are coming from. That was why you saw that even few days ago, a service senators and House of Rep member in Labour Party were all moving to APC. Because why? The constitution also backs them that when there are fraction or serious issue that is unresolvable, you are free to move. Now he has moved, we welcome him. Our own prayer is that they are coming, will robust the party for a progress. You know, that is the prayer. And we believe that having tested the other side and came back, probably there are better things that have been learned. Okay. And that one will now come in where we can cohesively and togetherness push our agenda forward. Just to say, if you allow me to skip it too, you can't eat your cake and have it. When somebody like, for example, Abure, you know, a power is so beautiful and so sweet. When somebody won Labour Party presidential ticket some time ago, and himself and few persons told the person to sit down and gave the ticket to another.
You were not there.
The case is even still in court.
That's a presidential ticket.
But you weren't there. Let them come for you, but as a media house, we have not, listen, hold on. We have not independently verified what you are saying, so we are not going to allow you. We can't just rely on social media.
So at the time, Abure was nice to some people.
Okay.
Abure was good and fine. But the day Abure's agenda differ from theirs, Abure become bad. And you know, in Nigerian politics, you can be cooked up at any time. You can be called a criminal the next minute after you have just done
Thank you.
Together. So Abure's issue for me, it is a two-way. Either he has offended those he has not assured to continue in office, or he has misfired the way he's not supposed to.
Okay, what is the Labour? You are not a member of the Labour Party now. So we have a Labour Party man in the house. What is Labour Party doing to bring everybody to one table?
First of all,
we seem to have factions in the state.
Yes.
What is the party doing?
There are no factions. I think.
What is the party doing?
My dear brother is misrepresenting the facts. If he's talking about the presidential ticket, Patutomi stepped down voluntarily in Asaba for Peter Gregory Obi in the last election. So that is the fact of the matter. So saying that Abure told somebody to say that, that's a misrepresentation of the fact. The quarrel with Abure is that his tenure has expired. But they had a kangaroo, what you can call a kangaroo convention in Anambra State that did not have the participation of majority of the stakeholders of the party. That is the crux of the matter. And just to even add salt to injury, you see in the APC where my brother is a member, you see the Ganduje has a lawsuit hanging on his neck, the national chairman of the APC. You saw their primaries, they produced two candidates. Thank God they've been able to unite now. You know, when that kind of unity is not a gentleman unity. So when you compare what is going on in its APC, and in fact PDP with what is going on in Labour Party, ours is malaria. Theirs is one is pulmonary heart disease, while the other one is cancer. So you don't even need to be talking about
what stage of cancer now?
Yeah, it's the end stage cancer. Due respect to those things. So you don't even need to be talking about Labour Party.
But you said
you said
Edo State doesn't have faction.
No,
but the embattled national chairman dissolved the leadership of Kelly Obaloi.
You do not have the local standard, as the lawyers will put it, to dissolve people when you are not even validly in office. Your leadership is a subject of a judicial process, a litigation, and you are dissolving. You've not married a wife, you are divorcing her. How? So it's a joke. It's a joke that's taken too far.
So having people like Moseli and other persons,
no, it's a joke.
As the caretaker committee members,
no, I don't want to mention their name because I'll be giving credit to whom credit is not due. Okay. In the state, the leadership is led, the state chairman of Labour Party, substantive state chairman of Labour Party, Kelly Ogbaloy, and the court made a pronouncement on it day before yesterday. Okay. Recognizing Ogbaloy as the leadership of the Labour Party in Edo State, State Working Committee. Anything outside that is a joke.
So the aggrieved members, what are they doing to bring them to round table?
Until you identify an aggrieved member to me, I cannot tell you who is aggrieved and who is not aggrieved. I do not know any aggrieved member. What I know as a member of the campaign council is that everybody, we all have our hands on the plow, and we are pushing our candidate to victory. We are going around the state. We are letting them know that for 25 years, we've had APC and PDP run our state to the ground, put us on a slippery slope. It is time to begin to rescue our state. We are pointing out the issues. Hunger looks you in the face now. A bag of garri is now sold for 85,000 naira in Edo State. It's painful that the PDP guys are not here. I usually like to discuss with them. When it rains now, you need amphibious features to navigate the city, or if you like, aquatic features to navigate this city. We cannot afford to have 12 years of APC, 12 years of PDP, and then we are swimming home at night. Okay. So we are now saying that it is time to rescue our state. All right. We've
seen some work going on currently in the state. We must give credit to whom credit is due. The state governor is doing so many works at the moment within the state.
That's entirely your opinion, sir. People have a totally different opinion. We've gone to talk.
Let's quickly get back to Emmanuel Obafolo, Esquire. Now, what is the fate of Right Honorable Philip Shuaibu? If he's been reinstated by the court, but if you look at some of the criteria, basically, humanly speaking, I'm not a lawyer, but he's no longer in the PDP. And to an extent, the law says the governor and his deputy should come from the same party. He has left the party officially pitch tent with the APC, maybe probably to help prepare the other side now from the APC angle. What is his fate? Getting back to office. Few months to the end of this tenure.
I am, if we are to go by the position of the law, Shuaibu is the deputy governor of Edo State by virtue of the judgment he enjoys. But just now, his sudden and dramatic defection to the All Progressive Congress is another issue begging for answer, because I do not see how he will be in the All Progressive Congress in a PDP-led government and would still want to enjoy the dividends of the judgment he has gotten. I think the man, perhaps maybe his lawyers did not do their homework, or the man himself vehemently refused to listen to the counsel of his lawyers. Because I do not think that after getting judgment, his lawyers would have advised him, okay, this is time for you to go back to Canaan, because once upon a time you were in Egypt. But he forgot that he was in Egypt when he was in Canaan when he ran to Egypt. Now he is running from Canaan now to Egypt. So you begin to, that goes to tell you that in Nigeria, we don't have political parties. And that has been my position. We only have gang of men who come out to tell people that, oh, we belong to XYZ political party. There are no political parties, because none of the political party in Nigeria has a culture. None of the political party in Nigeria has an ideology. You see them jumping from one place to the other, and when they jump, they sing Hallelujah, Hosanna. When they go to the other side, they say, oh, the Lord has given us victory. You see, these men are just bunch of people who don't have focus, and that is affecting the country, and that's why Nigeria is not making progress. Until we are ready to have a political party, we will not go anywhere.
Now, Comrade Amadi, this might be the last question for you. We've not gotten to the election. It's already, the atmosphere is a little bit tensed. We lost a gallant police officer just recently, and APC was fingered in the whole drama.
Are you true?
Yes.
You know.
Do you think it's going to affect them as far as the polls is concerned?
Barrister, I want to thank you just now.
Please leave Barrister. Answer the question.
Happy. No, the issue.
Okay, you're thanking me now.
Yes, no, he made some ally. Okay. Thank God the Supreme Court have been able to, a very large extent, not until maybe it gets back there, on the issue between Atiku and Obasanjo. So the Supreme Court then have made us to understand that if Atiku had gone to AC, it doesn't matter. What was concerned that they had this joint ticket that took them there, and they both must enjoy that immunity as it were. You know, when you have immunity, there are so many things that you must gain, or not until it's over review. But now you come into the tension. Who creates tension? Just like we said now, that we want a working system or an environment that is not tensed, where we can guarantee opportunity. Now, when the chief security officer, for example, the one who is supposed to manage our welfare and guide us as a father, in a situation where a father comes out every day, beats the wife, beats the son, and tells you, when I'm coming back, I will beat you the more. You can say that the children would have also been prepared for their father.
You are speaking in parable. Who is beating? Who is doing the beating
now,
in this
for
context?
example,
let's make it very clear. Who is doing the beating? And who is receiving the beating?
No, I'm talking about the chief security officer of the state, for example.
Okay.
Like the governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki, by virtue of grace and opportunity of being our governor, he has created tension. He has testified everywhere.
So he's the one beating everybody.
Yes, by action. And by those he have put together and gave arms that are not well licensed, two are not properly trained.
These are strong allegations now.
The allegations.
We don't have anybody from the PDP. You know, some of your responses.
Maybe you can engage us some other time. But however, I'm just trying to say, I'm just trying to say is that it's unfortunate. My brother, your brother, for over 7.5 years, the governor have been using this innocent young man and has not been paying them as a way of security for the people, local vigilantes, you know, they are. Now, in less than 1 month, he took a bill, let's call it a bill, about a piece of paper to the House of Assembly, asking them to pass the extant law that is making the Edo State security network to being. And then till now, he has not still fully done biometric for them. And we do not know what is their salary. How can you use people like that, like a slave, our own citizen? They are not induced into the main civil system. And at the end of the day, in 4 or 5 months, you just ask somebody to give them 10,000, make them hold first. They are our brothers, they talk to us. This is an embarrassment. And people like that, you think you can use them all the time? We saw what happened in the airport road, for example. Now, can people who are peacefully coming out of airport start to shoot themselves? No. What was their vehicle doing at the airport gate? What were their people that wore uniform, as it were? But it's quite unfortunate.
Those were just statements. We've not really seen videos
just as they cooked and a doctored video. That is how you also have an original video too. You know, but it's quite unfortunate. I will always seize the opportunity to beg our brothers. We are all one family. You know, there is no need of killing ourselves. There is no need being incited to burn the country down or burn the state down. We do not have a country or a state that should be burned.
Thank you, Amadi.
Now, to build Edo by the grace of God.
Thank you very much. Comrade Idris, we've not gotten to the elections. Senior stakeholders are saying, if there's a repetition of this, the country will burn. Should we get to that extent where we'll be having serious tension? And you know, Edo is not Lagos like some people used to say. I don't know what they mean by that, but however, we are the heartbeat nation. So why should we not have tension? We always have tension in Edo State when it's electionary period.
I think that statement is the video evidence credits it to the governor, where he said if what happened in the airport repeats itself, the quarrel between himself and the APC, Nigeria will burn and he will lead it. I think that's an incendiary statement, and I condemn it in every sense of the word. The governor must be reminded that in 2020, palliatives that were sent to these states were purportedly looted. And people had to go look at state government warehouses to recover rice and indomie. The country did not burn. The governor must be reminded that when he won his election in 2020, those who lost did not burn the country. The governor must be reminded that a local government election was conducted without voter register. and the country did not burn, the state did not burn. We reject those kind of statements from leaders. Leaders should be measured in their statement. But on the final analysis, our people should know. They should look at it. It is a case of light and darkness. We've had, like I said before, we've had 25 years of PDP and APC.
Okay.
And you see the kind of comments that governors are making. You see the civil war, the political civil war going on between the governor and his deputy. You see the oppression of our traditional institution. You've seen one that is particularly laughable. A 100 years old hospital demolished to erect a museum 5 feet away from where you have a national museum. That is the kind of thinking that is running our government. That's the kind of mindset that is running our government. Keeping in mind that we elected a technocrat is a heartbreaking proposition that we're having to have those kind of conversation. In the final analysis, I tell our people, it is between light and darkness. The next election is between light and darkness. And for us in Labour Party, we are determined to pull people out of poverty, to move Edo from consumption to production, to put people back in the center of governance, and to change the narrative around our state. Our state is now prominent for bad road and unnecessary quarrel.
Before we get
These two parties have put our state in bad light, and we are determined to pull them out.
Before we get to Barrister Obakolo, we've seen politicians speak fantastically like this, and when they get to office, it's like there's a spirit that's waiting for them to take over them.
Yes.
We have members of the Labour Party who are at the National Assembly, both Senates and the Federal House. Both in the state, at least Labour Party have
one member of the State House.
And some persons are saying all these people in Labour, they got to office and they are behaving like the former order.
Okay, so
should Edo now trust your candidate, Barrister Olumide Akpata?
So I will let you know why you need to trust Labour Party. It's not an option. It's in your enlightened self-interest to trust Labour Party. I explain. Labour Party have had 2 governors prior. Olusegun Mimiko of the not too distant past in Edo State. Go and check his carrying out project. Now where he live and I still dated today. And we've had one that is a shining light in the country. Governor Dr. Alex Oti of Abia State. I served in Aba in the year 2014-15. Go to Aba today. Port Harcourt Aba Road. We used to enter a truck called Old Jesus that goes into the water and comes out on the other side, like we have in Benin now. That has been completely cleaned up. Area International Market has been completely cleaned up. Aba today has 24/7 electricity. The only state in Nigeria that has 7 local governments with 24/7 power supply. The quality of the pudding is in the taste.
Okay.
So I will advise our people. It is in our enlightened self-interest.
Thank you.
I am not a registered member of the Labour Party. I led my private business to get into this, to get into politicking, so that we can have a state that we can be proud of. These gentlemen in the 2 other political parties are taking us to the abyss. It's time to rescue us from
Okay,
there.
thank you very much. Barrister Obakolo, what's your final take? We need to go now.
Well, I advise the government, particularly the federal government, to keep calm and instruct the Inspector General of Police to provide security for the protesters and not to stop the protests.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel Obakolo, Esquire, legal practitioner, and of course, for your time, always on this platform. We sincerely appreciate you. And of course, Comrade Collins Amadi, we thank you too for always. Say what? Say again.
Parting words.
No. Your parting words will take us into another conversation. We'll bring you in on the next one. Okay. Yeah, we'll start with your parting words from there. Thank you, Amadi, for coming. The Deputy DG Media APC Campaign Council Edo State. We appreciate you. And of course, the Chairman Media Publicity Labour Party Campaign Council Edo State. We appreciate you for coming, Comrade Idris.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's an absolute delight.